And can I give a special welcome to Deirdre Campbell?
Well,
It's lovely to see you. Congratulations, Deirdre. We're delighted you're with us tonight. Right, any apologies for absence?
Answers Carl and Julius.
And Jeff. Okay, thank you. Disclosures of interest and grant of dispensations.
Has not been received.
Okay, the minutes for approval, that's the minutes of the previous Community Development Committee on the 26th of November to be approved. You okay with them?
Read the minutes.
No actions arising from those previous minutes. Straight on to item 5, Homeowners Association presentation. I'm not doing that, and obviously Craig Weir isn't here tonight, unfortunately, from the Submariners, and you'll know Craig, he's also a town councillor in Amble Town Council as well. So he has given us a report, which I think everybody should have had a copy of. It basically, he wants to kind of commemorate the submarine service in Blythe and recognise the work that was done alongside tall ships, alongside shipbuilding, alongside various other maritime heritage things that have happened in our town. So ultimately to provide a northern submarine exhibition which will publicise Blythe as a submarine town. And he wants to work alongside Blythe Battery to do this, and apparently he wants to have that exhibition down at the Blythe Battery. Yeah. It's pretty straightforward what he's saying there. What he is asking for is some support in terms of publicity and materials from Blythe Town Council. The location of any artifacts that they can use, and I'm not sure where there might be any submarine artifacts. Is anybody aware of any?
If you go into the community hospital where they go through for the dressing in that, there's which one is it? There's a submarine on the wall there, and it's the one, the bell we've got, I can't think of the name of it.
All
But
right,
there's a photograph of the submarine in on there.
all right, Aileen?
There's a number of residents of Blythe House, memorabilia of the families, and I've been putting in touch with them. So he can contact them and then they contact him with any if they want to donate anything from.
So if it goes ahead, I guess it's worth putting a call out to the public to see if anybody has anything. Yeah, right.
Before I get anybody lost, there's a story by them. If we are to sort of help, can we buy and donate the Skull and Crossbones flag? There is a story by the part of the heritage of the Submariners. Because the Navy said they weren't naval men, and the flying Skull and Crossbones flag to state it, and it's repeated in Australia as well, or in New Zealand. So it's just saying if we could purchase one and donate to them for that, but like a decent one, not just a $5.99 one off eBay or Amazon. That was possible.
Okay, that's definitely worth considering if we do go ahead and support it. Yeah, right.
Yes, Chairman, when I asked if the clerk contacts Councillor Gordon Webb.
Oh, yeah.
We have, very interested in something we still don't. It's got we have a set of photographs of a number of the submarines over here where you could probably drawn on from the whole exhibition.
All right, excellent. Good idea. Joyce?
Are they just planning to do this in the cafe area? Because there isn't really a lot of space there to do very much.
I think it was at the back of the cafe area, you're right, John, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure where, but I'm sure when we were down there last, in fact, when Adrian and I were doing a visit down there, they talked about something in the back of the cafe.
Oh, that's
Didn't they? Yeah. So we'll have to find out about that. So, yeah, location of artifacts that they can use. Any assistance with historical facts? Yes, Eileen?
Just to let you know that Gordon Webb is one of the gentlemen who I've been getting in touch with.
All right.
Right, so yeah, you're in touch with Gordon. Great. They're also asking for any further finance that we cannot manage on our own. Not quite sure what they mean by that. There's no figures there,
I think it means the one.
and it's a bit vague. And I wasn't sure what the initial donation that we'd given them was that towards this?
That was for the submariners, that.
That was submariners event,
Sunday.
or Remembrance Sunday. Right,
Yeah, I've also given them some money towards stepping up and getting some leaflets done. They've not,
all right, okay. Thank you.
It will seem bizarre, doesn't it, that this marvellous heritage that we've got, and we don't bang our drum about it.
Yeah.
It, you know, I mean, the town's on the map for lots of things now, but that would be a great thing to go, you know. I mean, I tell my grandsons about it and they didn't believe it, because, you know, because it's live, but I think it's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Jay, can I just comment on that? That's why we've got the Alban Walk, because Gordon, Webb and Les Smith were totally involved in that, so they've got a lot put out on that Alban Walk. And that's why they called it the Alban Walk, because it was Alban submarines and troops.
Okay, they're obviously going to go ahead whatever, because they're talking about having an opening ceremony alongside Blythe Battery at the end of March. The Lord Lieutenant has expressed an interest, plus Blythe dignitaries, to make it a special day. And they're also saying that they do get involved in some of our events, such as VE Day, coming up on the 3rd of May. He would welcome the opportunity to come and talk to us about it. My proposal is that we take Craig up on his offer to come and talk to the town council. Yeah, and get a bit more information about it. I guess there is a potential for him to link into other funding pots, whether it be long-term plan for towns or even the Blythe Celebrate Fund in some way. But I think we need a bit more meat on the bone. Yeah, a bit more information about exactly what they're trying to do, unless you know. I know you've been involved early on.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've had a really good meeting with them, and it's very exciting about what they're wanting to do and lift Blythe up and lift up the fact that there was submariners here, and there is so much history. Like Wellesley Community Home, was part of submariners. I think it'll be a fantastic opportunity to add another string to our bow.
totally agree.
Just a point to bear in mind, that would be during the election period, so you might run into some difficulties there.
Yeah, good point. Further, all that.
Could we agree something prior to it and get it rolling for the next councillors?
Possibly. Yeah. Does anybody know when Perda starts?
21st of March.
21st. Okay. So if we could try and get something done before then, that would be helpful. So there's no decision report on this. That's just his presentation. So can we just agree that we take him up on his offer to come and talk to us a little bit more, give some further details?
I mean, he was gonna come along tonight, but
Yeah.
then he couldn't, so that's why he sent along this just overview of it really.
Yeah.
I mean, we are running out of, meetings. You know, after tonight, that's next Thursday
Yeah.
for the environment.
Yeah.
Then after that, the next planned meeting is, governments. When we review the accounts at the end of April and whatever.
Right. Does it have to be a formal meeting, or could it be a small group, a small working group? I don't know.
Well, any decision on, funding would have to be.
Yeah.
At a community development or a council meeting, really.
You can also call it events working group, I guess.
Yeah.
Discuss it.
Yeah.
Just a working group, so we'll look at
Can
it.
we make it a sort of time that, not through the day if that's all right?
Okay, we'll consider that. But we'll take it forward to try and get him in. Whether it events, working group or whatever.
Right, just to clarify, The objective of the objective, where do you want to go to at the end of it? Is it to agree some funding, because we've got very little community funding left.
Well, as I said, it's all a little bit vague about how much he's asking for. He just says, any further finance that we cannot manage on our own. I'm not quite sure what he's asking for.
Maybe if he gets it started next year, we can maybe give him some funding next year.
Yeah.
But just think what he,
Probably
get him in
go
and
to
find
next
out
year's
what he
funding,
wants,
Yeah.
when he's starting and what he wants.
Yeah. But I think in principle, we all seem to be in favour of supporting it, yeah.
I agree with Grant, because, Gordon Waverley's got loads and loads of submarine photographs and that, and he's always putting them on Facebook.
Kath?
Just to say that, well, in May, when the new council comes in, they've got that schemes money straight away.
Yeah.
So each council individually, if they want to support it, then give them the money. Is it individual councillors? Do we go on new ones in the April, is it? Or is it
Mayor and
held
new
back to
council.
May? Right. Yeah, well, that's up to every individual councillor, so it needs to be brought back in May to see if they're going to support it. I'll do nothing now because we've got the money.
Yeah.
Or supported in principle, but come May when the elections are on, there's also the schemes money and small allowances, you know, so.
Okay, we'll do that then. All okay with that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Grant funding visit update. Deirdre, I'm not sure whether you know that we have we have a community grant pot of money that we give out throughout the year. We've scheduled 4 meetings in when community groups can apply for grants of normally up to £5,000, but on special occasions we can give a little bit more than that. So we'll have about 173,000, I think, in the pot to give out, and then on top of that, you've got your individual £1,000 councillors allowance, town council allowance as well. So what we decided, it's probably long overdue to be honest, is that the people that we gave the funding to, I think there are about 26 or 27 groups up to now, we'll go around, Adrian and myself as chair and vice chair of this committee, with Stephen from the council, to see exactly how that money's been spent, what benefit it's made to the organisations, get any feedback from them on the application process, whether they think it's a good process, whether there are things we can change on it and things like that. So we're kind of 2/3 of the way through that now, Adrian.
I think it's about 5 or 6.
5 or 6 left to do. And it has been an extremely worthwhile programme, if you like, because it's very easy sitting here and saying, oh, we've got an application from such and such and they want this for that. But to actually go out and see how much difference that money has made, it is absolutely brilliant. And it reflects so well on the council as well. And one of the things we're going to do from this is get some really positive publicity from it for ourselves and for the community organisations involved. So it has been, I would say, a very uplifting experience. Will you, Adrian?
It says, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to some of the places and you couldn't believe what they actually do when you think, I would never thought they would do this, where they are sitting here giving them grant and you think, oh, I want money for that. But when you get there and you see them working, it's just fantastic, and we'll understand now what the money's going and where it's going. But it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, you've got some shining examples there. The Empire School of Boxing, which most people know about here. Absolutely fantastic things going on there for all ages, people with mental health difficulties, all sorts. Kat?
I'm just interested in if they're making themselves sustainable, because we can keep on giving them money, but there needs to be sustainability there, so they don't have to keep coming back for, because otherwise it's going to look like it's the councils. communities, you know, so I think that's what we need to look at as well, is,
We do need to bear that in mind.
yeah,
What's coming across loud and clear from all of them is the difficulty they're having accessing funding from other funders as well.
how they help themselves as well, make it.
Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate
You
that.
can run a club, but you can't run it on funding forever, you need to make it
Yeah, yeah.
sustainable along the line.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to be clear and absolutely sure that the money we're giving out is going to be used wisely as well.
Yeah.
One of the feedback we had from somebody was, and I'm not going to say who it was, but we said, look, you need to be careful on who you're giving the money to, because, you know, some people will just do repeat applications over and over again,
Yeah.
and there's not that much coming.
And
The outputs aren't as good, let's put it that way. But certainly it's increasingly difficult for community groups, community centres, whatever, utility bills, et cetera. It's kind of chicken and egg, isn't it? If they haven't got the core costs, they can't deliver any of the service. So there's no point, they're not going to put any special projects on, because they haven't got anybody there to do it. So it's a tricky one, but it's not just here. I'm on the EGF wind farm fund as well, and they're through the community foundation. They find exactly the same. They're getting more and more applications for core costs. So it's just something we need to be aware of. We need to try and help them be sustainable as much as we can, Kathy.
Yeah, for the future, I mean,
Yeah.
even if it's just like a small charge,
Yeah,
because I mean, the community grants are for projects, not for the running of the groups.
yeah. We need to keep an eye on that. What we've also been impressed with is the links between all the organisations.
Mhm.
Lots of them work together, and lots of them know exactly what's going on in the other one,
Mhm.
and they'll help each other. That's been fantastic. Lots of volunteers, kind of the lifeblood of lots of these organisations, the volunteers, as you know, Aileen, especially. So, real positive stories, I thought.
That's right.
And I think
Sorry, I've got,
you're all part of that positive story, because you're all on the committee that make these decisions. So you all deserve to give yourselves a pat on the back and a round of applause. Well done, you're making a difference.
just one, sorry, I must be getting a sore throat because I'm starting to croak. Anyway, there was one, rugby club. They hadn't even spent that money because they've been waiting for planning permission coming in, and they've now, as far as I know, they're getting it. And they're getting more money while they've been waiting to help them, so that's going to be good use as well, so by waiting, they've managed to get more. It's a good grant of getting off somebody.
Yeah. Thanks, Adrian. Okay, we have a decision report now, which is about Blythe Food Bank. If you remember, back in February 24, we agreed to make a regular 6 monthly payment of £5,000 to the food bank, subject to an ongoing review. That was. We've had that visit recently on the 3rd of February. We've been provided with statistics and facts, monthly stats from the food bank. They're currently spending between £1,500 and £2,000 per month on food to meet the need in the town. That's per month. Just provide a detailed analysis of where all the money is going. Again, I probably should have put this as a disclosure because I'm a volunteer at the food bank at the very beginning. Deirdre, yeah.
The food banks, I mean, this one in particular, does this particular food bank get donations from the supermarkets?
Yes,
They do,
they do get
and is it on a regular basis?
that. Well, they certainly use, Sandra's involved with the food bank as well, and there's certainly a regular
They
one
don't
that has
get
that.
donations per se from it, but what they do is they have a collection there and people in Astor put
No,
in.
I know of an organisation where the daughter lives and it's just been set up. And the supermarkets themselves, at the end of the day, will make whatever food's left, that might be the next day out of date, or the day after, or stuff which they think they might not sell very quickly. they give it to the food banks.
Yeah.
It's to the food bank. Has it been a request from, for the big supermarkets to make a
Yeah.
regular, rather than people making the donation into the boxes, the supermarkets themselves, because they make a huge profit. And, you know, I think it might be, I don't know who, maybe the council or the food bank organisers themselves to approach those supermarkets. Could they, could you look at this? Because they're doing it in another part of the country. Why couldn't they do it here? But there's probably a greater need than there is in East Sussex.
Well, I do know from, I've been a volunteer for about 6 years there now. They do get a lot of support from the local supermarkets, particularly Asda, I have to say.
Is that from,
Morrison's
sorry,
is- Morrison's is
that's
shared
from the
between,
supermarket itself, or is it through the donations and the people?
Supermarket.
Supermarket, so.
oh yeah, the supermarket
From the
itself.
supermarket.
Yeah, and donations of the people, it's both, yeah. Now then, there was, Grant, wanted to come in you first, Martin?
But I was just gonna say in response to what Deirdre's just asked there. I did a review last year and it's obviously just been done, but for information we were seeing last year, the donations from the supermarket themselves are actually slightly down on what they've been in previous years, which is part of the need why they've got to buy food from the supermarket to give out, whereas before there was more of it given. But certainly there's other shops. I mean, there's a shop I go to probably sandwich at lunchtime and they donate stuff to the food bank, you know, at 5 o'clock at night or whatever it is.
Okay. Grant, were you
I was
next?
just going to ask whether the rundown in donations from the supermarkets is because of the way that fair shares is licensed by the government. Because it now goes out to other, like a larger group of people than just food banks. Originally it was food banks. So the expansion of fair shares about to affect local food banks in some respects. Because it's going out to community kitchens and all sorts of things to feed people who
Yeah.
can't afford to feed themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Carl?
Yeah, there's a similar thing to what Grant's just said. Are they a member of the fair shares? The fair share trade, are they a member of that?
No, I mean, they do work with the Trussell Trust a lot. I think they've tried fair trade in the past, but you kind of never know what you're going to get. And we don't do fresh food as a rule,
Right.
fresh food and veg, because it just goes off so quickly.
I think it's just the fact that, about fair share and there's not, enough like donations going in, then they've always got that to, forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I think your community kitchen does it as well.
Yeah,
don't they?
we are members of Fair Shares and
Fair
you
Share.
take what you get. And some of them is on the date and a lot of it is fresh vegetables,
That's right.
fruit. We're in a position where if we've got an abundance of something that we know that's gonna last, we will donate to the food bank in schools. So it is shared out with them.
Yeah. And in a similar way, the food bank, if they've got an abundance of things, they'll give some to community food and friendship.
Yeah.
So it's all about working together. Brian?
Just a question to yourself. You said about the food banks buys from the supermarket. Is that where they get their majority of stock from?
That's part of the way they get the food in, yes.
It's a leading question. I mean, is there a way they could say, you know, become a member of the cash and carry and sort of try and bring down the cost to use that to buy in bulk? I'm just thinking about, you know, different ways to help.
Yeah, they've looked at all of that. I'm sure the members of Booker, is it?
Yeah,
Booker, yeah, which is a similar type of thing. Yeah. So they've certainly, you know, they've probably exhausted most of the avenues in Blyth, but obviously they get lots of individual donations as well.
Yeah, of course.
And they'll get lots of donations from factories. The port are a key.
I mean, I've to donate myself because I've had to use them before myself, so.
So, like I say, the donations and they get all the donations and that, but to be a member of one of these, like Costco, for instance, still costs a lot more money. So they're better off on the fair trade.
Big Bookers is free membership.
The Bookers is free. Yeah, we still got people the goods. They turn out quite costly. Because we run it, we're members of it.
No,
Adrian?
Yeah, it was just, when you were saying about, the sell-by date, I was talking to Peter, who was in the food bank, and he says that they don't, give out-of-date products. If there's any out of date, they give them to Food and Friendship, and they get rid of them quicker.
Yeah.
Because the food bank, it's all got to be good stuff, and that's why they kind of give out, out-of-date stuff.
Did you want to come in, Sandra?
I think it's all been said. I was going to say, the reason we don't take perishables is because there's no way to store them, really, is there? I mean,
No.
we occasionally get carrots and stuff like that that
Yeah.
now don't have sell-by dates on. I don't know whether you've noticed or not.
No.
But it's just hard to get rid of them sometimes because nearly always they come on Thursday. And I've got to put my hand up and got some, I got some out of date buttermilk the other day, who they couldn't get rid of. But apart from that, it's just hard to store it.
Yeah.
I mean, the premises are quite small, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. Any other comments from anybody? I mean, there's obviously still a need. And we did agree to, do things on a 6-monthly basis. Brian?
just another one, how's the need from the food bank gone the last few years? Is it the demand gone up, or is it sort of leveled off, or whereabouts are we, do you know, with yourself volunteering this?
I haven't got the spreadsheets here, but there was a small dip last year.
Yeah.
Very small dip, but it's certainly gone back up now. Went up just towards the Christmas time last year, or August last year, there was a little dip, but it's certainly gone back up again now. But then the demand's gone up from the people that attend the food bank, plus their costs have gone up because they're not getting so many donations, so they've got to buy a bit more, so they're more dependent upon council funding at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it, like, if you get that, you know, seeing the demand going up with them.
Deirdre?
It should, I mean, if somebody goes to the food bank and they get a bag or a box load of food, and are they ever asked, could they make a donation themselves? You know what I mean? You know,
Well, yeah, well.
where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to make
give a little
people back no money, but if you're in need and you could afford, say, £2, £3, or £5 for 2 or 3 days supplies, better than going to a supermarket.
Yeah.
Do they ask people or not? I mean, I'm just asking the question.
Did you wanna
I was
mention?
going to say we don't, but the first week I worked at the food bank, a couple came in. Actually, it makes me want to cry when I think they said last year our business went bust and we had to use the food bank, and they came in with a huge donation of food for the food bank because they'd been helped. We don't actually specifically ask people to do that, but I think lots of people come in with the odd thing just because they've been helped, you know, so it, no, but that touched me, that. very
Yeah.
much.
Lots of people do come back, you know, when they're back on their feet again, and they can help out. But no, we don't ask anybody. We don't judge anybody when we're there.
No.
You have to have a referral when you come in. You can't just roll in off the street and ask for a parcel. You have to be referred by an agency.
No, I'm just thinking of maybe ways of generating a little bit of extra cash for the food bank. But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Right?
As councillors, are we able to refer or not? Because I've been asked for a number of times over the years, you know.
Not as individual councillors, we wouldn't be, no.
And so comes through, job centre and places like that.
Jobs
And
and
social
Northumberland Community
service.
Together, probation service,
Yeah.
church can make a
Yeah.
referral, yeah.
It's got to come from professional.
Well, we work professionals, don't
Not
Really
I
isolated.
We're not right.
We all work together, non-political.
I'm not.
Right. Right, so can I bring it back to the recommendation here, folks? The recommendation is that the committee resolve to make a further donation of £5,000 and a further review to take place in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
We agree?
Yes.
Totally agreed.
Thank you. Right, delegated actions, there aren't any. Any other business? Well, the any other business I wanted to flag up was just reminders really about events coming up. things to put in your diary and just to flag up. We have our media day taking place at the Phoenix on Tuesday during half term. It's fully booked by all accounts with lots of demand for that. On the Wednesday and Friday of half term, we've got 2 skate park engagement days. With Shred the North coming to do some.
Thanks, I'm open for that shape.
Fun.
Thanks, I'm open for that, you always do you.
Yeah, John's gonna give us a demonstration.
Again,
Partly.
we spotted the new school leader last week, didn't they?
Yeah, Martin's gonna give a quick update on that.
Yeah, just on the skate park, I mean, while we get to Shred the North, help design the concept of it. Because although it's one space, there are 4 individual themes to it. You know, you've got people, you've got a concept where people would sit and watch and aspire to. You've got a learning place and you've got semi-difficult and more difficult. And in talking to the contract, I'm going to cover this more next week, but in talking to the contract, it was the first time they'd really done something like that within one compact area. Obviously the opening day was some very, very happy kids there, as we all saw.
Very happy.
We've got to do a weekly inspection of the skate
What
park.
a very happy councillor as well, with a helmet on,
but-
his ultra's gone.
One of our officers was up there today doing an inspection for health and safety and things like that, which we've got to do. And there was 6 young men there, and they were skating, and obviously they saw one of our guys with his high vis on. And they immediately asked, "Is everything all right?" And he says, "Yes, we're just doing a health and safety inspection." And they had their little brushes. And we were told before the skate park opened that there's a lot of respect from the skaters, the more experienced. They bring along their own brushes to get rid of little bits of mud, stones that have turned up on, anything like that. And I happened to comment that of the 6, 2 were from Concert and 4 were from South Tyneside.
Yeah.
And the good thing about that is, me and Jay watched them for a few minutes. And it's also a good thing for the kids that were there, because we're watching these people and thinking, you know, how good are they? And they can give little tips to skaters, say, you know, don't do it that way or else you'll fall off, do it this way type of thing. So it was a very, Jay was really happy, and it was the first thing he wanted to tell us when he came back. So it is getting out there. We've got a very good concept there, you know,
Yeah,
for the design.
Well, knowing that, I think it's really good to see that older children are getting involved with the younger ones, so it's gonna help them more, so, you know what I mean? I just think it's a good news story for the council.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just the day when we were coming out, Isabella had been, Isabella doing an inspection thing, not an inspection, grants business. And we come past there and I seen these 3 or 4 lads and they're brushing away and that on the thing. I says,
All right.
I says, I thought they weren't coming till next week. He says, no, they're just volunteers, they must be just skaters. And it was Stephen that said they're going up next week to do it, but he says, it's great when you get people doing that, they're all brushing the skate park.
Well, yeah, dedicated to it, it's safety, isn't it, for them?
okay, a couple of other things to flag up and remind people. Easter Fun Day is on the 19th of April. Our VE Day celebration is on the 3rd of May, down on the quayside. And then we have the official celebration on the 8th of May. There's quite a few things going on there. At 9 o'clock in the morning, there's the flag ceremony at Ridley Park, and we'll have our flag ceremony in the Market Square, Open Walk. There's also a lunchtime church service, and the bells will be rung at 6:30 on the night, and then the beacon will be lit at 9:30. The Dave Stevens Centre, that's on the 8th of May. You'll be going to all of that, Aileen, yeah? Great.
Will that all come through to us and, from Julie, will it?
Yeah.
Just to remind her.
Yeah, well, some of these arrangements have got to be, further finalised, so we'll
Yeah.
issue them with our own information rather than just.
Just sort and forget.
Yeah. And obviously the final one is Blythe Live, 21st of June. Sort your tartan out, basic your rollers, Deirdre.
I haven't got a clue who they are.
There's only one of the, one original one then.
There's one thing I did forget to mention, that Julie is trying very hard to sort out some potential free swimming sessions for next week.
Good.
Apparently they've been, well, I've seen it on Facebook, they've been arranged at Ashington Leisure Centre as well. So she's trying desperately to try and get something on a Blythe Sports Centre.
My Ashington Town Council.
Not finding it very easy, I have to say, unfortunately, with the company involved at Blythe Sports Centre, but she's trying her best, try and get a couple more as a free swimming in. Right, that was any other business. Date and time of next meeting is to be agreed. Now we're moving into part 2. And we're going to turn the owl off.
Send it, I don't know what.